Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So today we're seeing a little dip.
Got you guys. You thought you were watching the wrong show. Welcome to the right show. And what you're looking at here is the Bitcoin chart. And today we're going to show you that we think that Bitcoin is about to have a breakout. And it's going to have a breakout to the upside. If this is true, and we're in the middle of alt season, what does this mean? Does this mean you need to take profit on your alts? Does this mean that it's time to switch all your alts into Bitcoin? What do we need to do? That's what we're going to talk about right here today on Crypto Banter. So, wow, this is like our third show today. So welcome back, guys. Welcome back to Crypto Banter. If you didn't watch our last show, you need to watch it. It's the story of Sheldon, guys, and how he became the Crypto Sniper. Now, if that doesn't excite you or make you enthusiastic or make you realize that anyone can do this, then I don't know. Also, if you're new to our channel, welcome. Hit the subscribe button now. And the reason why you should hit the subscribe button is because that could enter you into the Banter Bags competition. And I want to quickly call up and I want to show you guys the Banter Bags. I think it's important that you see it. We said that we took $10,000. We invested it in pre-market allocations. And those pre-market allocations started to come to life. And those Banter Bags are now worth about $500,000. So to win in the Banter Bags, and there are still, there's 3 left, right? 3 more bags left, which we have to give away by the time we get to 250,000 subscribers. We've now got, let me show you, you can decide whether you want to subscribe or not subscribe. There are 231,962 people in our community, fastest growing community right now in crypto. When we get to 250,000, we're going to give away the Banter Bags. And the last time I looked, the Banter Bags were valued at about $500,000. And that's with most of those Banter Bags not yet becoming...
It's just insane right now.
I agree, George. It is just insane right now. But you know, like really what I wanted to say was, I knew these Banter Bags would become huge. I knew because it's such an amazing thing to be able to give back to the community. And I knew it actually was...
Exactly as I have been predicting.
Exactly as I've been predicting. We're changing live with these Banter Bags. We've given the Banter Bags away to multiple people, all of them worthy, all of them community members, some people that do a lot for our community, some just were at the right place at the right time. But ultimately, we're giving away the Banter Bags. And as soon as we're finished giving away the Banter Bags, we're going to give away a new set of Banter Bags. So if you didn't win this time, you will win the next time. We asked you guys earlier today. We decided we're going to give one of the Banter Bags to charity. And we asked you guys earlier today what kind of charity we should give it to. And we gave you 3 options. One of them was women's fertility. In fact, let's quickly go and look at the options. And let's see how they scored. And then we'll also tell you the decision that we've made and why we've made the decision in terms of giving away the Banter Bag. So if Fred hasn't completely destroyed my Twitter profile, which he tends to do by posting these show tiles all over my Twitter profile, I could tell you. Okay, so the question was, which charity should we give the Banter Bags to? And we said an Indian orphanage because of COVID, children's cancer, or women's fertility. So clearly a lot of you don't want more women to have more kids. Don't know why. And the other 2 are great causes. But one of the members of the community, in light of our previous show, and I don't know if you guys watched the show, but Sheldon told his story and we spoke about how Sheldon lost his dad, how Sheldon lost his dad to depression and suicide. I'm gonna get off the Wi-Fi because Fred's waving me down. Let's hope it works. It's working. Okay, so we were going to give it away to one of those kind of charities. And then one of the members of our community called Eva G sent us a message and said, "Hi, Ran. I know the whole community was touched by Sheldon's story. How about one of the Banter Bags goes towards a charity for men's mental health or suicide prevention in honor of his father? We watch you guys every day from Curacao. Thanks very much. Thank you for everything." So we decided to do exactly that. We decided to take one of the Banter Bags and give it to a charity that deals with mental health illness, not specifically in men, because we're not sexist on this program. We're going to give it to a worthy charity. So yeah, let's get Sheldon on the stream. Sheldon, what do you think, my man? What do you think of the cause that we chose in honor of your dad, my man?
It means a lot, Ran. It really, really does. It's very special. Thank you to that person. No, it means a lot. It means a lot.
Great, man. Listen, I know you've had an exhausting day mentally, and yeah, we know this. Sheldon, we have been speaking about a bounce in the Bitcoin price. And I think that everything is now aligning with the fact that we're going to have a bounce in the Bitcoin price. And I'll tell you why. The Deribit futures just closed. And they closed at 55,852, which was about $148 away from that point of max pain. And that's where the buyers and the sellers of options and futures experience the most pain. At the same time, the kimchi premium in Korea, that is the premium that shows how much Bitcoin demand there is in Asia, specifically in Korea, has shot through the roof again and is coming back. We take that. We combine that data with the sideways movement in Bitcoin. Tell us what you see.
Yeah, so, the sideways accumulation, which is good. We're looking good the way we've been setting up. And obviously, what's sort of pointing upwards is we know that when the market turns and it comes down quite quickly, we always have sort of imbalance to the upward side. We haven't filled any of that. So right now is, yes, we're going sideways, but there's so many more pointers right now that's showing that the upward side is the direction we're going to be moving in. Now, we can see that we haven't basically hit the main ranges that we need, which is, let me just get into the thing. There we go. Which is this range over here, the imbalance through the candles over there. But also painting the picture that we know that dominance has been trailing down so quickly and it's been accelerating so fast down. There's a big bounce coming in, dominance coming shortly. That is a massive impulse that is coming downwards. So obviously the alts have been loving it and a lot have been fed into the alts, but there's going to be a huge bounce in the dominance at some point. And that's similar to the bounce that we saw previously from a wave like that. And what that was, there we go. Okay, so what that was is two instances. There was the big wave, there was the big bounce. There was the big wave, there was the big bounce. Now, the BTC to USDT is showing me the break to the upward side, and the dominance is showing me we're going to have a big bounce from the alts back into Bitcoin. So right now, it shows that Bitcoin's going to have a strong push. Does it break all-time high? If it breaks all-time high, it's exploding completely to the topward side. Or it will definitely attempt. They're not going to lose all the momentum they've made off of Bitcoin in the last year or the last few months. They're going to attempt it, and it's all about if we get above that. So right now, dominance and Bitcoin is pointing to the upward side.
I think all the factors are starting to align for Bitcoin again. The question is, do we take our money out now and put our money back into Bitcoin now? Is it too soon?
Yeah, we get into that point. What I would start doing is laddering, definitely start laddering back in. I still don't feel the dominance has hit the bottom point yet. We haven't hit the support just yet. The next support is only it's still another 2.5% to 5% down from where we are right now. So I do feel it's coming. I don't think it's going to come in the next day or two. I think by Monday, early next week, we're going to see the acceleration from Bitcoin. So I still feel that we're going to have that last push from the alts. I still think Chainlink is going to have that push. Dot's going to have that push. Zill's going to have that push. Cardano is going to have that push. All of them are going to have that last strong push upwards. And then I feel it's definitely time to get back into Bitcoin. So, but end of the day, Bitcoin is the main currency you want to build in this. So to start laddering out in Bitcoin is always a good idea, because next week we can see maybe dominance continues down. You can always get back into the alts. The main thing is your main currency is protected. So yeah, I would start laddering into Bitcoin now. I still see a bit more growth from the altcoins over Bitcoin, and then definitely getting fully back into Bitcoin in this month, definitely.
Remember, we said the month of May was actually about making much more Bitcoin. You know what we also said? The month of May is about smashing the like button and smashing the like button and smashing the like button, because there's 9,000 people on the stream and 4,500 likes, which kind of means that 4,000 people don't want to win the Banter bags. And there are still three Banter bags to give away. Fred, what's going on? Fred can't believe it. He just absolutely can't believe it. All right, Sheldino, stay with us, because now it's Friday, and you know what happens on Friday, right?
Banter.
Banter time. Exactly. It's banter time, and we're going to bring in our friends one at a time to banter with us. Thank you, Sheldon, my man. So, welcome to BitBoy Crypto, the largest channel in all the interwebs. If you like money, how are you, my friend?
Oh, I like money, so I guess I'm good. Maybe I'll subscribe to. Do you guys talk about money on this channel? I don't know.
If you like money and you like crypto, then you should be subscribed to our channel. You know why you need to subscribe to our channel? Because you can win the Banter bags. So this is the only channel that allows you to win the Banter bags. You know what the Banter bags are, BitBoy?
Is it like a grab bag where you go to the flea market and get something for $2 and you open it up and you have no idea what's in it?
Fred, tell BitBoy what the Banter bags are. We took $10,000. We invested in pre-market allocations. Those pre-market allocations have come to market. And those Banter bags are now worth exactly $500,000. Wow. And when we get to 250,000 subscribers, which is like today or tomorrow or the next day, we give the bags to the community. We give it to 10 lucky winners in the community. So BitBoy, you could win. All you need to do is subscribe, like, hit the bell button, because that'll tell you when we're coming on. And I mean, you need to be reminded when we're coming on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm already a winner because I'm invested in a bunch of those projects. So I'm already a winner. So if I win it, I'll give it to somebody else.
Amazing. Cool. And then let's bring Casey. And Casey, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
She's here to keep you boys in check because, you know, sometimes when it's just testosterone on the stream, it gets a bit manic. Let's bring in some spice. Biz, welcome, my friend.
How you guys doing?
Biz, do we need to wake you
Can
up?
you guys hear me? How you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
All right.
We can't see you, but we never can.
We can hear Biz, and we got Kyle, and we got Wolf. How are you guys? How is everyone?
What's happening, everybody?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Winston, the only one we can't hear is Biz. I wonder if Biz fell asleep, but I'm sure he'll. You know what? Let's see if we can wake Biz up. BitBoy, what do you think of this Cardano breakout? This.
Well, I know that I believe that Mr. Business told me not to invest in Cardano and go all in on Polkadot. And now we're on, I think, the second straight pump for Cardano. Polkadot's still lagging behind a little bit. So I think Cardano is now ready to break out. I think it's kind of on the next leg of its journey. And, you know, one thing that always happens in crypto is people get really like over the top with listings, right? Coinbase listing was awesome. It was great. But then what happened? It had one day of a pump. Then it went back down. That Coinbase pump was kind of already, you know, baked in, if you will, to the previous, like, you know, I guess it was like 45 days where Cardano was going parabolic. And so now, though, what we're seeing is when a lot of excitement has come into altcoins, and like Sheldon was showing, when the Bitcoin dominance is dropping, now that Coinbase listing is huge because there's a lot more liquidity for Cardano. And so, you know, I think it's definitely going to be heading, you know, north of $2 in the next month, as long as Bitcoin doesn't have some kind of monumental collapse. So Cardano is very speculative, as everybody knows. I mean, so is Polkadot. They're both speculative. We're seeing kind of the battle between speculative projects with Cardano and Polkadot versus, you know, more established projects that actually have, the fully launched, and they have big communities, and they've got a lot of use case with Etherum and BINANCE coin. But I know for me, like, Cardano is a project I think is going somewhere between $8 and $10 in this bull run. It's not close to that yet. So at some point it's got to pop off.
$8 and $10 would give it a market cap of the same market cap as Ethereum has now.
Well, yeah, sure. But the overall market cap is going to be much bigger by the end of this year. So it's not going to be, you know, that crazy of a number.
Well, BitBoy, let me talk about that. So I was wrong about Cardano. I did not realize.
Wow.
I did not realize how big the meme coin hype was, and so I think Cardano is going to pass Doge as the #1 meme coin. I was completely wrong about that. I didn't see it coming. I said they should change it to Cardago, you know, and it would just destroy everybody.
Cardoge.
Cardo, whatever you want to call it. But listen, by the way, I've never said to people, don't buy Cardano. I've actually never said to my community. I just said it is speculative. Polkadot is actually not speculative because Substrate, the framework, is live.
Well, they don't have any parachain yet.
Parachain, right. They don't have that yet, but Substrate is live. But listen, Cardano is definitely going to do well, especially after the Coinbase listing. My biggest thing with Cardano is, when are the smart contracts coming? That's it. When are the smart contracts coming? And after that, you know, you can validate the price.
Kusama parachains will be up next month.
Right.
100%.
Supposedly.
No, they just rolled out the whatever the last step to implement them was.
Yeah. I know as soon as they roll out, I mean, they've already got tons lined up to take those spots, but we'll see. You know, I mean, once it comes out and rolls out, that's when I'll say it's rolled out.
So,
Well, I
BitBoy,
think-
you think from now, you think Cardano is going to outperform Kusama from this point forward?
You know, it's really hard to say because I mean, I actually don't own any Kusama, but I have a giant bag of Polkadot as well. So I certainly want Polkadot to do well, or Polkadot. Should I be pronouncing the L? Where do y'all stand on the L in Polkadot?
Polka.
Polka. I'm sorry, I'm not Polish. I just don't
Okay,
know
hold
what
on.
I'm supposed
Casey, I want to hear your view here. I know you've got a view. Boys, you
So,
gotta give your stance.
I think Cardano will perform well because they are great at marketing. And when people look at the price, hey, it's $1.63 versus Polkadot is $40, people are going to FOMO into that smaller price point. They've been marketing for the past, 3 years. They've been, like I always tell my audience, they talk the talk, but they aren't walking. Polkadot, they are kind of new kid on the block, and they've been hustling. So, hey, I think Polkadot is a better project, but Cardano has good business, fundamentals behind it.
Winston,
Yes, buddy.
what do you think, Cardano?
I mean, I've been talking about Cardano all the way through these Banter episodes, and yeah, I think that there's still a lot more to come for it. I think we're seeing that demonstrated in these runs that it's having, and that once things do start really heating up for them, it's going to take on a life of its own.
The market didn't get that excited about the Cardano Africa deals. I mean,
of course not. Why would it?
Yeah, look, I think those sorts of things aren't what's driving the market right now. I mean, like BitBoy just mentioned Coinbase listings and that sort of stuff. We're not seeing the sort of listing pumps or partnership pumps or new website or new logo pumps that we used to see. There is more sort of fundamentals behind the price movements with a lot of these things now. It's just a sign of a more mature market.
But the market was really waiting for the Africa deal, and the Africa deal was announced. Why do you think the market didn't respond to it? I mean, like, the Africa deal was announced.
Well, look, to be honest, like, Cardano's got a lot going for it, but one of the things that doesn't have going for it is it does do a lot of deals with a lot of people, and a lot of those deals don't seem to be anything or aren't eventuating into anything like just now. So yeah, I think there's a healthy dose of skepticism when it comes to those sorts of things with Cardano.
Yeah, maybe there's some part of the cryptoverse that I'm not exposed to. Casey said, thinks that the Cardano does an excellent job at marketing, but honestly, like, I hardly have exposure. It flew under my radar I knew it was around, but like, I don't get updates. Maybe it's because I don't follow them on Twitter or something like that. But I just don't feel like they have any market. They can't put a candle to Polkadot's marketing. I mean, when you look at ecosystem and just like the sheer kind of, I am just far more exposed to the Polkadot world. I don't know if it's because I look for it or not, but I don't. But I didn't even find out. How I found out about the Africa deal in Cardano? Because I was on a call with a guy, and then I ended up getting on the other call was Toomey. I don't know, Rand. You must know Toomey, right? He's South African.
Toomey, the president's son. Toomey, yeah. Tumelo.
Yeah, so Tumelo. Yeah, so I was on a call with him the other day. Talking about his stud ranch and the bulls that he breeds and things like that, and he was telling me that like Charles came in and made this Africa deal, and that's how I found out about it. And I live in crypto, so I think the marketing is quite weak. I think that's a problem.
Well, I'll tell you this, that I am also I don't see a lot of Cardano stuff. I see mostly Polkadot in my research. I will tell you, every Wednesday I do an Ask Me Anything on my Instagram, and when I look at my comments on YouTube, when I get emails, 90% of the time, people are asking me about Cardano. So they must be doing something right. I'm not exposed to it, but my audience is. That's like the number one coin I'm always active.
Normies are buying Cardano. Hardcore crypto people are not buying Cardano. The Cardano community, no disrespect to them, but most of them are sheep. They can't even tell you, to them, Mary and Shelley are like Charles Hoskinson's favorite hookers for all they know. They don't even know anything about Cardano. So I got family members calling me.
Shelley is a man. Shelley is a man.
I don't tell anybody I'm Mr. Biz. I got my family members calling me, telling me, "Hey man, this Charles Hoskinson guy is a genius," and I gotta smash my head against the wall, and I gotta tell him, "Yeah, you know what? If you want to buy it, buy it. It's probably gonna do well." It's the normies. The normies like Cardano.
Well, Cardano has the #1 strongest community in all of crypto.
Come on, man.
exactly.
Hold up. Come on, man.
There are numbers that back
Hands
that
down.
up.
It's tribalism,
Yeah.
tribalism
Yeah,
and greed.
yeah, exactly. There are numbers that back that up. And one thing is, Cardano has obviously been around for much longer than most projects at this point that are, competitors, and their hardcore community has never left. They've stayed there. And so they add on, and then people look at the price and it's pretty low, the new people. But, like, once again, I feel like I have to have this conversation with like everybody. Like, fundamentals don't matter a lick. Like, fundamentals do not matter a lick in this market. If you think that this market is driven by fundamentals, you have not been paying attention for the last 5 years. This market is driven by speculation and it's driven by hype. If it were driven by fundamentals, then the Africa deal would move Cardano, because you start to realize that is what banking the unbanked is all about. It's about bringing all the people in Africa into the world economy that aren't in there. I had Akon on my show. I've talked to him several times, about how in is it Senegal, I think he's from, where they actually trade phone cards for currency because they're so unbanked. Their fiat currency is so worthless. They use phone cards for trading. This is a giant. What's that?
We trade airtime minutes. We trade data and minutes.
Yes.
That's the currency in Africa. And guys, I'll tell you the reason why Cardano didn't move on the Africa announcement. The real reason. One is that the market had been expecting it. But two is, this is not the US, where if you sign a deal, shit happens. There's a massive, massive, massive gap between signing a deal and getting shit done in Africa. I had a business with offices around the whole African continent. And if I had a penny for every time I signed a deal and nothing happened afterwards, with government, then I would be a multi-millionaire today. That's just the way it is.
Are you not a multi-millionaire today, right?
Yeah, come on, man. We're all friends here.
I saw those investment banks. It just doesn't matter. Like, it just doesn't matter, though. Like, even if something that did happen from it, like, this market is driven by speculation 100% right now. That's why you get these projects that launch, they boom. Nobody even knows what they're putting money into, if we're all honest. All of these like private seed rounds and stuff, I don't know half the ones I'm invested in. I don't know what they do. Like, I try to learn about them. I try to do that. If I talk about them, I make sure that I know. But, these things launch and they pump. Nobody knows why. We all know why, because people are just putting money in to appreciate value. That's all it's about.
There's a big difference between brand new projects and major caps, though. And I would argue the point that, you're right in regards to speculation on new projects coming out, because that's what you do with new projects.
Well, what is Dogecoin?
Majors are more based on fundamentals at this point in time. It's way different to 2017.
I just can't see that. I mean, I just can't see how fundamentals are driving anything right now, because you see these gigantic pumps.
Ethereum's not being driven by fundamentals at this point in time. Is that what you're saying?
Ethereum is in a much different place than every other project. Its ecosystem is gigantic, and decentralized finance is ran.
Yeah, but you're saying 100% pure speculation for everything.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ethereum is much more speculative driven than fundamental driven, for sure. Everything is in this market. That's what you see in a bull market, where the prices spike up. It's not because all of a sudden this project came out with something new and it's working and it's great. That's not what it's about. It's because people just see the price action and it's driven by psychology. And they're
exactly what happened with Uniswap recently. It's what's happening with the Ethereum updates. It's what we're waiting for with future Ethereum updates. That's all fundamentals. That's what's driving price. That's what's actually helping drive adoption.
I'd say, so I'm not sure what the percentage is with, hey, we have the last 12 months, we have smart money in the ecosystem now. We have ETFs, we've got banks, we've got institutional investors. I'm not sure what percentage of that is compared to retail, but I think they do, play a part in the manipulation and playing into the hype and the speculation. So I think for me, the question is, how much of it are the institutional investors driving this hype and kind of just making themselves more money at the expense of the retail?
Yeah.
Institutions aren't driving up the hype on Dogecoin, on Ethereum Classic, on XRP. They're driving up the hype on Bitcoin and okay, is there any chance that Doge becomes the currency?
There's no chance it doesn't.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm going to go and mute Fred's microphone, so give me a second. There's no chance it doesn't, you say?
Yeah, I was kidding. The joke bombed. We're supposed to have a conversation now.
Were you listening to him, Carl? He says no, all in. You got to pull back. You got to pull some fiat out there.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that there is a chance that it gets real adoption, that Doge actually becomes something, or you think that after a month, 2 months, 3 months, Doge is dead?
Elon is just using Dogecoin to fund SpaceX. Like that's all he does. He saw it bottom out. He put a bunch of money in. He's like, I could pump the fuck out of this because it's a meme coin. He did it, and now we have BFR, right? Now we're going to Mars, and that's
out of this world.
That's what it is.
You know what I think? You know what I think it may be. I think that Elon tweeted, I think it was this morning, where he said SEC stands for S. The E stands for Elon, and then the rest you can work out what the S stands for and the C stands for, right? But boy, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay, so I think that because Dogecoin is not a security, Elon can pump Dogecoin as much as he wants with tweets without the SEC being able to do anything about it, because it's not in their jurisdiction. And so they can't actually. So I think he's having fun with the SEC, saying, watch, I'm going to pump. You didn't let me pump my own stock, so I'm going to keep pumping, and I'm going to pump and pump and pump. And there's nothing you can do about it. And I think that Dogecoin has actually become a big fuck you to any of the regulatory organizations, saying, we can do whatever we want.
That's been the point the entire time. Like, his point the entire time is our entire financial system is a joke. Like, that's the point behind all this. I bet he owns very little, if any, Dogecoin. This isn't about money for him. He can pump Bitcoin. Why would he have to pump Dogecoin? This whole thing is that there is a very thin line between the US dollar and Dogecoin. There's a very thin line between Dogecoin and Bitcoin. There's a very thin line between all of it. It's just whichever one we accept and we choose to use is what it's going to be. But the US dollar is a joke. We all know that. The SEC is a joke. We all know that. That's the point behind all this. And he's having a lot of fun with it for sure.
Yeah. But what happens when the top Dogecoin holders dump? That's not going to look good on our space, right? It's the holders and the tokens are concentrated amongst few people.
And it's going to happen because Dogecoin is an exact replica of exactly what happened in 2017. It was a bunch of uneducated, well, I don't want to say uneducated, but uncrypto educated.
They are uneducated.
Okay. Going on TikTok and buying a meme coin, there's without fundamentals behind it. So you're going to see the exact same thing as soon as you start to see some weak hands coming in, the whole thing will crumble down because it's not
more fundamentals than 95% of shitcoins out there. I mean, it's more decentralized than 95% of shitcoins out there. I mean, you want to talk about fundamentals, it might not be the most perfect coin. It has an increasing supply. The technology may not work, but it does have 95% better fundamentals than
what's the difference between Dogecoin and Litecoin? What's the difference?
It also doesn't have anyone developing it, I think, for the last 4 years. So
I think there's also an element of subjective value for Dogecoin. You know, we can't just, there's more than just smart money in this space. And so, hey, even if you look at NFTs, hey, there's people wanting to pay millions of dollars for a Tom Brady, paper card. And then we have all these NFTs coming out. We have millions of dollars being spent on that. I think we need to look at Dogecoin more abstractly, like in those terms.
And there was an article, 1 in 4 Americans think that Dogecoin is better than Bitcoin. And the average investor thinks $227 invested in Doge is going to make them rich. This is ridiculous. $227. They think that's the average investment.
Well, $227 invested in Doge a couple months ago did make them rich.
Yeah,
right. Actually, in January, but we're past that point now, though.
Well, yeah, of course. Obviously, like, you run into math problems at this point with it, but like I don't know, like I kind of don't like the rejection of the Dogecoin holder. Like, they're just as valid in what they want to do as we are, and I think that this idea that like this is bad for the space is really stupid because it's going to dump, but guess what? Bitcoin's going to dump 65 to 85% again too, and guess what? Bitcoin, there's a small concentration of holders at the top of that as well. So the fact is that this is a good gateway to get people to crypto. And it always pisses me off when we have these good gateways to get people in and then we act like those people are idiots. Like, let's educate them about what else is out there. Like your Dogecoin, you made a lot of money with it because we sound totally We sound totally idiotic when we come to these people and we say Dogecoin isn't valid. They've seen people become millionaires over the last 3 months, so there's some validity there to that. So for us as educators, it's our job to educate them on the alternatives to Dogecoin and why Cardano or Polkadot or Ethereum have value. Instead of rejecting them and pushing those people away, we should be pulling those people in. And it's really taught a big lesson about when people band together, what they're able to do. And in crypto, we stay in our cults and we stay so splintered, we can't get anything done.
I agree with you that we shouldn't be talking like pushing them away. But I don't agree with the fact that that it's necessarily a good thing. You know how many people in 2017 bought Bitcoin at the top, then got wrecked and never wanted to come near crypto ever again. And I also disagree with the fact that Bitcoin will have a 60 to 85% pullback. I don't see it happening anymore.
I wanted to pick up on it, but let's finish the discussion around Doge. Winston, Dogecoin going up in value, good thing, bad thing for the ecosystem?
Look, I don't have too much of a strong opinion either way. I do see BitBoy's point in regards to we do need entry points into crypto. I don't think what's happening now is sustainable. Just like I didn't think what was happening with QuickSwap last week was sustainable. I mean, all pumps eventually stop pumping and correct. So we might see that. Obviously, interested to see what Elon does on Saturday Night Live with it, and if something comes from that. And it's more of a source of entertainment for the crypto community than anything that needs to be taken too seriously over time.
Okay,
I kind of have two thoughts. Okay, so one, I think finance and investing is a really hard sell to most people. I think Doge makes it fun. We're driving adoption through crypto. And then we also have to look at, we've seen JP Morgan, oh, Bitcoin's going to zero. Then 2 weeks later, oh, it's going to 400,000. So, hey, the Cardano guy, this is probably not true, but he might have some Doge and trying to put some, foot out there to drop the price, buy in more. It's not totally out of.
I don't think it's that, but I'll tell you what I do think is going to happen. I think that all these young TikTokers and this whole new investment generation now have Doge wallets. They're using Doge. They're sending Doge to each other for payment of things. The retailers are going to realize that it's an easy way to attract new customers is to start accepting Dogecoin. And then they're going to start accepting Dogecoin. The exchanges are going to be honest,
I don't think too many of them actually have wallets, man. I think most of them are holding
I agree
like
as well.
Robinhood. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, so eToro enabled Dogecoin trading this month. There are retailers that are incentivizing people. If you buy in our store, you get kickbacks in Dogecoin. If this carries on, then
bro, that's PR. That's them getting onto a story that's in the media and leveraging it for brand exposure. That's not actual adoption.
Yeah, and if I could on that point, because I actually agree with is it Winston? Is that your name? I think.
Yeah,
it's one of them.
It's one of them. Okay, for whatever your name is, I agree with you on that. I think that I think this is a very important point, is that most people that own Dogecoin, I believe, are owning it on Robinhood. And so actually, I think a lot of the trading and the wallets, one of those big wallets is Robinhood wallet. Some of those wallets that are just kind of moving money in derivatives, not actually moving money, back and forth. I think that's why it looks like a gigantic concentration of holders at the top. But that's beside the point. The point here is, I think that what's going to happen is when Dogecoin finally does crash, because of course it will crash, whether it's at the end of the market or whether it's this week, a lot of people are going to get wrecked because everybody's going to be trying to pull their money out and Robinhood's going to go down. And they're going to learn the same lesson that a lot of the GameStop people learned. Except the difference is in crypto, we actually have custody. And so once again, this is a channel to teach people like, hey, you're not actually owning that cryptocurrency. You can't send it back and forth. And we can use that to push them over to regular exchanges and then learn the lesson of custodianship in crypto. So I think that's another, I think there's going to be good lessons that come out even when it does crash. I think that's, really a lot of the stuff, that we should be focused on.
Okay, let's pick up on the next point. And you started this, not me. You did. You said Bitcoin may take another 60 or 70% pullback at some point in time.
Yeah.
Really? Do you not think that we're past those days? Do you not think that with institutions, adoption, money off exchanges, you still think that we could have these 60, 70% corrections?
What evidence do we have that we won't have it? The only thing is everybody's going on feeling like, oh, I feel like this time is different. Go and search Google in 2017. You will find the same kinds of articles, the same kinds of opinions about investment vehicles are here now. We have futures contracts. This is incredible for Bitcoin. We will never have a pullback this big. If you go back and you look at the history of Google, if you do time-sensitive searches, 2013, 2017, 2021, what you'll find is the same types of things being said. We always feel like this time it's different. The fact is the price of Bitcoin is driven by the halving. That is what drives the price. The production, the supply shock. When you really start to do the math on the production, it's insane. Like we've had 18.7 million Bitcoin created in 12 years. We have 2.3 million created in the next 119 years. The true like on-chain fundamentals of Bitcoin is what eventually will drive the price like much higher. But you're going to have those pullbacks. We have no evidence to suggest we're not going to get it. And I would rather tell my community that we are getting the pullback and we don't get it than what happened in 2017 where everybody said it's not going to happen. And then it did happen and people got wrecked over and over and over again. I believe now, instead of the traditional 85% pullback from Bitcoin that we've had basically every cycle, I think some of the institutional money, the MicroStrategy money, the Grayscale money, I think we are looking at maybe a 65% pullback instead of an 85% pullback, but I'm not holding my breath on that. I'm still counting on, 1 year after, consistently what we've seen is 1 year after the top of the market. That's where the market will bottom out. And that's when I'll make my judgment on how far it'll fall. But I'm counting on at least 65% pullback. The idea that we're too far along right now and that this isn't still a giant speculative bubble is crazy to me.
I think the one thing that we have to also remember whenever we're looking at historical data is we've had a black swan event, COVID, and that changes a lot of things drastically. So I don't know. That's my.
I agree. I think that we've had unprecedented money printing. We've had unprecedented revaluation of assets. I think that whereas Bitcoin has appreciated, a lot of it is just depreciation of the US dollar. I think the stock market on the back of the worst economy in the world is at all-time highs, right? You can't argue that, which means that a lot of what we're seeing in Bitcoin is actually just weakness in the US dollar, which is not being reflected in inflation, but is being reflected against stock markets and Bitcoin. And therefore, I don't think we'll ever see another correction in Bitcoin.
That's a scary statement.
No, we will.
We will
see it. But
I would really warn your audience against thinking that.
We're not going to see another 70, 80%. We will see pullbacks. We'll see 35s and 40%, and we'll see a lot of those. I don't think we're going to see another 60, 70% pullback. Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, not only I agree with what you said, Rand, for sure. And BitBoy, like I wouldn't say that it's not that we're promising our audience. We're just trying to educate on what's going on. I mean, definitely people should hedge and take profits and be safe. And obviously, and like Elon said, don't put your life savings out, even though I have. But still, but I think that
my whole life is crypto.
But the fact is that it's not the same at all. So the articles that are coming out today and the evidence we have today is different type. This is what I keep trying to drive home. It's a different type of people that are buying into the market. This bull run is not driven by retail yet at all. When did you see anyone hop on Twitter and said, I just bought a fucking Lambo? Like, it's not happening. It was
on top will be, I believe.
Yeah, you're right. But you're right. But that's when retail comes in later. But retail will be a fraction of the money that comes in.
We can resolve this. We're going to resolve this discussion in 1 second. Winston, I want to hear your take. Are we going to get 60, 70, 80% pullbacks?
Look, I think any of this sort of stuff is just wild speculation anyway. We will have pullbacks because that's how markets work. Casey brought up the COVID situation before. Who knows what other black swan events we'll have in the market. I also think that there's going to be debt to be paid in regards to what's going on in the world right now. And we're going to see some savage type stuff happening once this unlimited money printing wears off, and that's going to cause an overall correction in all markets worldwide.
It's not wearing off because they cannot stop it.
It will. It has to wear off. You can't print money indefinitely.
Yeah. Why not?
And they're pushing because it's like any sort of like not to this same scale, not to
the parabolic nature that we're doing.
Empire supply. Yeah, and I mean, like, there's going to be systemic issues that are created as part of this, and they're going to have to be addressed at some point in time. And you could see that with Yellen coming out the other day and starting to talk about inflation and people freaking out. And they go, oh, hey, that's not a good idea right here. We're not quite ready for that. And I think that you probably look at, like any governments do, they try and do those sorts of things at the end of their term. So it's someone else's problem. So we might have a few more years of it, but it's definitely going to come up.
She was obviously either testing the water or got really badly reprimanded, because she came out and said, hey, we could be getting some inflation. And then she like came out, no, it's all good. We're not going to we're not.
She does it every month, you know?
Yeah, she's testing the water. I mean, and she must be like 117 shade. Biz, are we going to have a 60-70% correction in Bitcoin?
No chance, because if we go down 30-40, are we saying that people are not going to buy? Are we saying institutions and retail people are just going to say, well, this is it? I don't see that happening. I think people are going to I think people expect 30-40% just to load up in the long run. Again, if you hold Bitcoin, it's the best hedge you can get against the dollar, right? I don't understand why people think that holding fiat currency is valuable. There is no value in that. And as inflation increases, people are more and more going to see the value in Bitcoin and also Ethereum. So I think you have to look at the world we live in. You're looking at 2017. Look at the economy right now. The dollar is worth shit. It's not worth anything. And so why would you, if today, everybody here, if you saw Bitcoin went down 40%, and I say this as somebody who has not held Bitcoin in like 6 months, if I saw Bitcoin went down 40%, I would ape in heart. And that's me as somebody who's doesn't own Bitcoin.
Okay, hold on.
Imagine people who do own Bitcoin, what they feel.
I can resolve this in a heartbeat. Okay, so let's say that you bought a shitcoin and your shitcoin went up 100x, but you know it's a shitcoin, so you're going to take profits. But you have to put your profits into one token. So you can choose to put it into USDC, you can choose to put it into Bitcoin, you can choose to put it into Ethereum, Polkadot, Cardano. What's the one token that you take your profits and you put it into? And let's assume that you don't have much other money. Would you put your profits, and don't tell me I'm going to spread it equally. Where would you put your profits now? Would you put it into USD, or would you put it into Bitcoin, or would you start moving down the altcoin scale? I'm asking this question strategically because it's going to show which currency you have the most confidence in on a risk versus reward basis.
Ether for me.
Right. Yeah. Right now I'm putting it into ETH.
Ethereum.
Bitcoin.
Wow, okay.
I'm hedging at this point. So
Okay, hold on.
Carl's putting it into paid.
If you have to hold it for a year, in other words, there's a staking lockup of a year. So you're going to buy?
Definitely Bitcoin then, if it's for a year, because I'm really having a hard time with this large narrative that's going on that we're not having a bear market. That's really crazy to me. So I would say projecting a year where prices are going to be, Bitcoin will drop less than other things. So for a year, I would definitely say Bitcoin.
Casey?
If I have to hold it for 12 months, I'd say Bitcoin as well.
Carl's going to put into paid network. Carl, in 12 months, there are not going to be IDOs. That's the difference. So there's going to be nothing. No, I'm kidding. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, paid network.
Well, considering the fact that we're in the middle of doing a $50 million Polkadot and Kusama fund, because I'm very conscious of the economics behind Polkadot and Kusama, the fact that once people start putting their tokens into a 2-year lease, doesn't matter if we have a bear market, you can't pull out, you can't sell your tokens, they're locked up. So I would put it in Polkadot and Kusama.
Hold on, that's interesting. So you're saying because all these parachains have to lock up, there's going to be 100 parachains on DOT and X on Kusama.
Yeah,
and because
70.
people have to lock up the tokens for that long, you're saying putting DOT in Kusama because it's almost inflation, it's almost a bear market proof.
That's my theory. That's our mandate and our theory behind the fund we're raising right now is basically that. It's a fact that 60% of the supply on Polkadot right now is already locked up in validator nodes. Additionally, when we start seeing all the demand, they're thinking between $50 to $100 million per parachain worth of DOT that will be locked up for 2 years' time. And so I just see that even if you wanted to sell your DOTs in a crash, you couldn't. You can't.
I'd like to change my answer to Polkadot.
Of course you would. Okay, Polkadot. Because of that, Biz.
Look, Rand, you kind of cheated. You didn't let us pick multiple coins. I would have said DOT and Link, but I mean, again, Ethereum is more proven, but the ROI with Polkadot, and I did a tweet on this, like there's no 2017 PTSD with Polkadot. People don't know what the ceiling of Polkadot could be, as opposed to the other coins, they have an established all-time high. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna, my gut tells me Polkadot, my brain tells me Ethereum, but I'm gonna go ahead and Polkadot because that's where the big money is gonna be made.
Winston.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with ETH. I mean, look, honestly, if you have an expectation that we are going to go through a bear cycle, take your money out of crypto or park it into stables so you can buy the dip, or you can survive in your life. And I would be suggesting to people who have made money on this bull run, like diversify your assets at this point in time, and that involves putting money outside of crypto.
I'll tell you, I'm going to go for ETH, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to go for ETH. Because ETH is undervalued relative to Bitcoin if you use just the Metcalfe's law of adoption. And you say, look at the network effect on ETH, the network effect on Bitcoin, compare the two prices. I'm going to go for ETH. The second reason why I'm going to go for ETH is because ETH is an option on multiple verticals. So if DeFi doesn't work, then NFTs will work. If NFTs don't work, something else will work. Even ETH is an option on Bitcoin because all the DeFi options for Bitcoin right now, until some new protocols come out, are pretty much on Ethereum. The main reason, though, why I think Ethereum is because of NFTs, and because if you think that the Dogecoin generation are pumping up Doge, this is what happens when they start trading NFTs. That's the number of addresses. That's a number of addresses in 2 weeks that have been created as a result of NFT transfers in 2 weeks on the Ethereum network, and only 2 weeks. And that's against the ridiculous gas fees, crazy gas fees. So when gas fees come down and people start trading NFTs and there's DeFi, then for me, and the fact that ETH starts off a lower base, I put my money into ETH.
What about like, I get that argument, and trust me, I'm the Ethereum channel, like I love Ethereum. We talk about Ethereum a lot. I do believe that it will drop a little more significantly than Bitcoin in the bear market. But when it comes to NFTs and DeFi, like we haven't seen any of these do well outside of right in the middle of this bull mania that we've been in for 6 months now. DeFi over the summer actually kind of kicked it all off, was running a little bit before Bitcoin. So I guess there is like a little bit of evidence there, but it's just really hard to say. Like everyone's interested in crypto right now. They say 64% of all people in America are interested in cryptocurrency right now. In the bear market, that number was like 2%. And it was basically the 6 of us. That was it. So I just don't know what that's going to look like, in a market where things are not hype. We can't live in hype and mania forever. So, I think the NFTs definitely will have a place in the market, but it's just hard to judge what it's going to look like when things are not as popping as they are now.
But I don't think NFT is a crypto play. I don't think it's a bull market or bear market play. I think NFTs is
no, we just don't know. Like you're right. Yeah, we don't know for sure one way or the other.
It depends on the utility of the NFT. If you have actual utility where an NFT is just like a placeholder that happens to operate on cryptocurrency that gives real world utility, then that's the ideal adoption case, right? People are interacting with crypto without knowing it's crypto per se. They just get the benefits of it.
Yeah.
A lot to talk about. A lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about. All right, I want to move the discussion to QuickSwap. Well, not actually QuickSwap. The discussion is around layer 2 Ethereum. And if you had money to invest, would you invest in layer 2 Ethereum? And when I say layer 2 Ethereum, Polygon, Matic, Loopring, QuickSwap, etc. Or would you invest in BSC? And the reason why I ask that is both are very cool options. BSC's got a lot more adoption, but where would you put your money right now? Would you go for layer 2 Ethereum and start investing in the DEXs and everything else that's being built, like I use QuickSwap, like DeFi, which is launching, like many others? Or would you put your money into BakerySwap, PancakeSwap, which are already very highly valued, etc.? Where do you put your money?
Layer 2 Ethereum.
I think the question is,
hold on. Winston, where on layer 2 Ethereum? So that's, good. Layer 2 Ethereum.
Smart.
Difflin is one of the ones that I'm interested. I'm interested in, like, what I'm interested in with layer 2 is not just the ability that's giving these applications to build on, and obviously have people interact with them in a cheaper and quicker fashion, but the aggregation of liquidity that's coming across that. And that's one of the reasons why I do like ETH above everything else for the most part is that the underlying base of liquidity and the way that liquidity moves across the different layer 1 solutions and layer 2 solutions means that it's just an easier play. Like if you look at some of these new ones that are coming out, like the Phantom DeFi and even some of the Polygon sort of stuff, which isn't really a layer 2, it is still a bit of a layer 1. Let's not get into that. Like they're still very low liquidity. Anything Ethereum based ends up having like really high liquidity from the start, and like liquidity and volume is what we trade around. There's no point having $1 million in a liquid shitcoin.
Okay. But boy, you're saying layer 2. I mean, judging by the nods, you're going layer 2 versus BSC.
Yeah, I'm going layer 2 just because, you know, kind of like Winston, you know, I'm all in on ETH. I mean, I've got a lot of BNB as well, but Ethereum is where my bread is buttered, you know. So I'm going to go with ETH2 solutions. And one thing that gave me a lot of confidence in that, which is kind of ironic because it's the lack of confidence in ETH 2.0, is when Vitalik came out and said, well, actually, you guys know, like, this is not going to fix 100% of the problem. So there's still going to be needs out there for layer 2 solutions, even after ETH 2.0 is totally rolled out. 100% of the problems won't be solved. Just like there's no perfect chain out there. You know, there's no perfect chain. So there's still going to be issues. So there'll still be a need to make even faster transactions and things like that down the road, especially if we do head to a totally decentralized web, which, I mean, that's what got me into all this, is being interested in that. So I certainly hope that we'll have that one day. I'm a big fan of Polygon, but one that I'm an advisor for Cartesi, and I love Cartesi. I love a lot of the Binance Launchpad projects. Elrond's another one. You know, it's not a layer 2 solution, but one of those Binance Launchpad projects that crushed it. But I love Cartesi. It's a roll up solution. That's one that a lot is floating under the radar. It just got listed on Binance, or not Binance. It just got listed on Coinbase Pro. So. Yeah, on Coinbase Pro. So obviously, you know, they see a lot in it. Scale Network's another one to kind of take a look at. But just in comparison to BSC, you know, once again, like, it's just hard to judge whether right now BSC is totally hype and people are just FOMOing in there because, you know, PancakeSwap, all those coins are crushing it, very similar to what we saw in Uniswap over the summer. And so it's got to prove a little bit more to me before I am willing to say, like, oh, let me just go, you know, put a large part of my portfolio or a lot of confidence in BSC compared to Ethereum that, you know, just has a much longer track record.
Okay, so Ethereum layer 2 or BSC?
Layer 2. My biggest alt holdings are actually, you know, Matic, Loop Rings. And also philosophically, we need decentralized to work. You know, Binance being centralized, I don't think that's the right way to go forward, but hey, which can make more money? I don't know. I think layer 2 in the long run, personally.
Kyle?
I think the question that a lot of people, or the thing that a lot of people don't understand, is we really need crypto to be friendly, and we need it to be grandma friendly. And every time I talk to a layer 2 solution and ask, how do I run paid network on your layer 2? It's not easy for a user to take my paid ERC20 and put it on the layer 2 solution and then pay gas and go in and out of that network. So with that being said, immediately, I don't know how quickly layer 2s are going to become user friendly. And for that, it concerns me a bit. That's why in the interim, I like native solutions. And that's why I think, trust me, we launched Smoothie the other day, which is a BEP20 native token, and I had to send some to my team, and it was so fast and so cheap. And Casey, I do agree with you. We do need decentralization to work. Ultimately, I think layer 1s need to be natively efficient, and that's why I like Polkadot and parachains. So for this question specifically, Rand, I'm going to say BSC, not because philosophically I think it's superior, but because it's easier to use and it's native chain. Layer 2s are not going to be user friendly.
To be fair, though, that's the only use case for BSC at this point in time, and the only reason why it is something now is it's faster and cheaper. Once a faster and cheaper solution comes out, which is more decentralized or has more liquidity or has some other feature set to it, I think you'll see people natively, actually migrate through to that. I mean, BSC, while it may be easier per se, it's still not easy. This isn't like a normie friendly option. You've still got to go through MetaMask. You still got to configure things. Like, it's still a crypto for crypto play, you know?
Yeah. Liz.
I'm salty on this because there was a layer 2. I think Wolf, you might have been in it as well. If you remember XDAI, right?
I do remember XDAI.
Yeah,
I still like XDAI. I think burner wallet's awesome, but again, it doesn't have liquidity.
There was at one point where XDAI and Matic were like head and head. In fact, I thought XDAI would have been like the de facto layer 2. Gavin Wood spoke about XDAI. Even Vitalik did a tweet on XDAI. This is what bad marketing does to you. It just kills a product. And where Matic rebranded to Polygon. XDAI should have called himself Octagon or something to get the hype up, because Matic just took off. So if I had to pick one, it would be Matic. I don't own any layer 2 right now. I'm salty about what happened to XDAI. They had so much going for them. They just dropped the ball.
All right, we've got like 2 minutes left. I want to ask you guys one more question. Solana, yes or no?
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
Top 10 coin?
Yes.
Ooh.
At least at some point, cycle in there. It'd be like Uniswap or Chainlink, cycle in, cycle out, but it'll hit top 10 at some point.
Winston?
Pretty sure they did an IDO the other day and their chain broke, so they got a little while to go.
Did the chain break?
Yeah, I think it might have broken twice.
Wow. All right, guys. Listen, love you guys very much. I know BitBoy has a show to attend to, which I need to watch. So, I need to watch. Thank you. Love you guys madly. See some of you next week. Some of you the week after. Some of you the week after. Thank you very much, guys. We'll see you guys all. Much love from our community. And if your communities are here, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for attending. Love you guys madly. Thank you.
Smash the like,
Thanks, guys.
You guys.
Thank you.
Relax. Thank you.
Peace.
Guys, what a great show. What another winner here on Crypto Banter with our friends. If you're not a subscriber to our channel, if you're from one of the guest channels, join us, because we are a family here. We're your family. We're also giving away the Banter bags. We're going to give away the Banter bags between now and the time we're 250,000 subscribers. There are 3 more days to go, 3 more bags to go. We'll see you again on Monday, unless something really happens over the weekend. If you are trading, my friends, bring home the bacon. Trade well, my friends. Have a great weekend.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.